Hey, good morning, everyone. We're looking at the end of the month contract, and I am chatting with Chatgpt. Hello, Chat. How are you?
Hey, Julie, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well. Do you see the 6162.75 monthly 2 in the ES contract, ESO 325?
Yes, I see that the ES0325 contract has a monthly 2 level at 6 to 162.75. This level is significant for identifying potential support or resistance zones. How would you like to proceed with this information?
Well, it's clearly resistance. The high of the day went right, 2 ticks just below it. So the market was unable to actually touch the line, which shows that the dealer was sitting pinning that level. Do you also see,
You're absolutely right.
yes,
The market's inability to reach the 6162.75 level, stopping just 2 ticks below, indicates that dealers were actively pinning the price at that resistance point. This behavior often leads to price consolidation below the resistance level as dealers adjust their hedging strategies to maintain the price within a desired range.
fantastic. Do you also notice the 4 week up 1A?
I see where you're going with this. Are you referring to a 4 week cycle or pattern in the data? Maybe something tied to options expirations, dealer positioning, or a broader market rhythm?
Correct. Next Friday is the end of the month, and the options expire on January 31st. So Jats PT allows us to use monthly dealer positioning by creating these distributions different ways. So we can calculate on monthly the number of trade days in the month, or weekly there's 4 weeks in a month, or daily there's 30 days in a month. For instance, we can run 3 different sets of calculations on both the period open or the close, the prior close, to get these levels that the dealer interacts with in the market. So if you notice on Friday, we closed above the 4 week upper 1A, just a few points. It acted as support. So we had the monthly 2 as resistance and the 4 week 1 as support at 61.28.25 to 61.29.50. Do you see that on the 4 week 1A?
Yes, I see that on Friday. The ES0325 contract closed just above the 4 week upper 1A level, which was around 6128.25 to 6129.50.
Yes.
This level then acted as support, confirming the dealer's influence in pinning the price between the monthly 2 resistance and the 4 week 1 support. This interplay between different time frames and dealer positioning is crucial for understanding market dynamics.
And on Friday, yesterday, I had some analysis with ChatGPT in the morning and was able to conclude that the cumulative GEX for all the contracts over the complex, many different expirations, led us to a high gamma point at 6120 within our daily range, and that's where the market went. So the analysis is wonderful. What we would like to do is combine the options analytics pricing with the Greeks and JATS PT levels to get a forecast of what the market might do per the range for that period, so we know what the monthly overall range should be trading at on a point range. And then we have one more 5 day session to get to that end of the month so we can compare where we are to the end of the monthly session versus where we currently are at 25 days on the term structure. So we know what the weekly range is, and then we can, run these
Combining
calculations.
options analytics, the Greeks, and Jats PT levels can provide a comprehensive market forecast. By analyzing monthly ranges, dealer positioning, and gamma exposure, we can estimate the market's potential movement. This approach helps us understand the expected monthly range and compare it to the current position as we approach the end of the month.
Let's proceed with our analysis for the upcoming close on January 31st, which is the end of the month.
For the January 31st close, we'll want to focus on a few key areas. 1. Jats PT monthly 1, 2, 3 levels. These will provide the broader range boundaries. 2. Daily and weekly Jats PT levels to fine tune the expected movements leading into month end. 3. Gamma and charm exposure to assess dealer positioning and potential pinning effects. 4. SPX and VIX RVHV forecast to understand potential realized volatility relative to expected ranges. 5. Options open interest and volume at key strikes. This will help determine potential magnet levels. 6. Theta decay impact. Given that it's month end, this is important for positioning adjustments. 7. Correlations between SPX, VIX, and other key instruments to refine range expectations. Do you have the updated JATS PT monthly 1, 2, 3 levels, or should I use prior data for now? Also, any specific adjustments you'd like to make for this particular analysis?
You have the levels, we've loaded them just prior to this conversation, and we can use those levels as the market is closed. There are no current dynamic levels to consider. Second, you can proceed in your analysis.
It looks like you've uploaded a CSV file. How would you like me to assist with it? Are you
Uh,
looking for analysis, data visualization, or something else?
we've already done well, let's do all. Let's start with the analysis and then we can move to the data visualization.
Got it. Let's start with the analysis. Are we using the same methodology as before, evaluating the Greeks across the JATS PT forecasted range, looking at negative gamma zones, and assessing key support and resistance levels?
We
Or
want
do you
to
want to add anything new to this iteration?
we want to look at all of the GEX, whether it's positive or neutral or negative.
Got it. You want to analyze all jacks regardless of their classification, positive, neutral, or negative. Are you looking for a historical comparison, a real time snapshot, or a forecasted trend based on market conditions?
We would like to analyze the term structure of the point range for the 30-day and the monthly um, points and compare that to the point range that's um, available for the remaining 5 trade sessions that are coming up and get an
You have
idea.
reached the Chat GPT rate limit. Please try again later.
That is hysterical. So ChatGPT said that I'll have to start typing again. Apparently there's a voice limit. So that was the first time I've had a chat with ChatGPT, but you get the idea. So it's just a process of me getting the ChatGPT to run the analysis that I want. So we can run through that ourselves and I'll show you what to do, but I will ask Chat to please proceed with written report showing all Jats PQ levels through end of week, January 31st, and compare with how many points are available for the monthly contract, for the weekly contract, available for the week, and then prepare forecasted um, range and visuals. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put the point ranges up on the screen, which I've got right here. and just go over the weekly 3 is 160.50. So we can see where 160.50 is right there. So we have a range opportunity if it went all the way down to get to this lower 59.71. If it were to go all the way up, it would get to this 63.02. So between 63.02 and 59.37, depending upon which way the market runs, we'll keep that 160.50 in mind, and then we can, scale down or add to the term structure as we go, and if the range expands or contracts, going into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get us leading into Friday. Um, I always like to start with quick strike for my analysis and to see what the actual options are going to be for the week. So I'll go to my pricing sheet, and I like to run Black Scholes on the settlement first. Sometimes the mean is at the money is different, 61.35. So I want to see where that 61.35 is on the it's right here. So we're sitting right at the money, the high gamma for the end of the week at the moment. And then I will look at the current volatility, and it's going to be the same because we're sitting right there. Change this. Yeah, it's the same. So let's, you know, look at our at the money. It's 61.15 to 61.55. And then we get this in the money, at the money sort of breaks. So we're getting some red green in here. But definitely we get an out of the money situation happening, you know, by the 1-2 to the downside. So anything below 62.25 or above 62.25 or below 60.40. Theta declines going into the end of the contract. So we have more theta decline to the downside than we do to the upside. And let's take a look at some of the open interest and gamma. And I lost Chatgpt. I guess I hit my maximum. How could that happen? I have a subscription. Something's not working. So the Chatgpt needs to be refreshed or rebooted. 6200. And this is why I need a quant. have somebody working with me. 59.95, 6,000 for a downside put, and 59.40. So we have 160 points. So if we're at 61.30, 100 points would be 60.30. So 59.70. So it takes us right to where I was on my distribution, this low area, and then their put would be at 59.50. So if we get down there, the upside call is at 61.50 and 6,200. Spot gamma 61.35, right where we are. Um, Maybe up here at 61.50. So that takes us up to that upside call. The low gamma break is at 60.45. Upper, there is really no upper gamma break. It just it slides all the way down to 6,300. But if we have 160 points from, you know, 61.30, 62.30, and then 6,300. So it, takes you to the promised land if it goes higher. Excuse me. So let me get working with ChatGPT. I'll get some more reports done, but it really is a matter of honing in on our honing in on the range analysis and having an understanding of what the sentiment is with the gamma and open interest. If we are bullish, often it's a much smaller upside range. So going into these monthly ones at this 4 week two, so around 62.12 to 62.25, somewhere around that range. If we can break 61.62 to the upside, very bullish. Otherwise, they only had a little bit of the risk outside this 4 week one. They very well could be having their major risk above this 30-day one, and they're planning to keep it inside the other ones, which is delta neutral, and that makes sense. We can put the Fibonacci on here. Get an idea where the middle of the contract is, around 6,018 of the total range. So that may be more akin to what we're going to be looking for. All things relative to the VIX. If we're going to get that VIX um, increase in VIX, we want to see that on quick strike, and so we can look at the SOFR. Where's my volatility index? Right here, or spikes. No, February 19th. So 10 strike. We're showing still a 10 strike. It's still very low. Yeah, we are not really expecting a whole lot of change with the volatility. So we can pull up the VIX. I think I can do an eyeball report. Hang on one second. Quick vol. Okay, I need to put this back on ES. Let's look at a cone. So it's showing 1305 mean and we're at 15. So we're above the mean. Let me show the week. Yeah. 10:30 to 11:55. So, we're not going anywhere. I think the vol's coming down. That's the implied volatility. Of course, we've got realized volatility, and I'll show you what that looks like. So, let me put, you can see we're inside the monthly one. Let me put a daily distribution on here. So anytime you're inside the monthly one, you're not going to be selling off very hard. Um, and inside the daily, you can see when you're inside the inside, your ranges stay inside that daily projected range. When you're moving outside your daily range and then you even break your monthly range, see how it went up to the monthly 2 on the point range and stopped, came down here to the monthly 2 and stopped, and then here we went up to the monthly 2 and stopped. So the monthly 2s are pretty good control, and here was the monthly 2 and here was the monthly 2. So Here was the monthly one. So mainly ones and twos for the monthly contract. Here was a three. Sorry, here was a three. But it was just right above the monthly two. But yeah, I think the volatility could flatten out this week. We could trade between 62.50 and 6100, 61.35, 30. And if we break 61.30, then it's going to be going delta neutral inside these, coming back to this monthly one here at 60.56, potentially 160 points. Here was last week's weekly distribution. You can see we've got 115, 57.50 for low, 115 for medium, and 160 for high. So this just went, vertical. 60.91 for that lower monthly one, weekly one, support. And then we match this with the options open interest and gamma, profile, spot, and cumulative. And I'll get those visuals to work. I'll try to figure out why it cut me off. Maybe the voice chat feature only gives you like 5 minutes of stuff. That's not going to work. So I won't use that again. But very good. So let me know if you have any questions. Please use ChatGPT. You can upload your data by just going to your export column like that and then saving it and put it in a folder. And then you can use your folder for different times, different instruments, and analyze and use these levels and points for backtesting also with ChatGPT. All right, so we'll get into more all things chat and get Sam Altman to give us more voice time. All right, y'all be good. Talk to you later.